talking about. Hey guys, what's happening? Welcome to my podcast, The Precipice of Delusion. Holy shit, we have done it. We have launched off and we are officially in the universe. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating in this. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of my life. I am so grateful to every single person who has just said kind words, been sweet to me, encouraged me to do this. It has been a very gratifying and rewarding experience for me to do. I've been floating around this idea for a long time, and I don't know, like one of those things, you get wild hair in your ass and you're just like, fuck it, man, I got to do it. And I was just shelving this idea for a very long time. I was thinking about writing a book at first, and I was like, I'm not a fucking author. I tried to write a script. It took me like 7 years. I finally made this movie, this poster behind me, I Am Erica. But it took me like 7 years to make this movie, or just not, to like write it. And I just kept revising. The point is, my writing is subpar at best. And so writing a book just seemed kind of like out of the question. I love to talk, so I thought maybe I should just start another podcast. If some of you guys have been with me for a while, you know that I had a podcast during the pandemic and beyond with my good pal Alan Stone called How Good's This? And it was a blast. We loved it. We talked shit and we didn't like really have a real theme for it. And so it, eventually fizzled out because we both got busy and we just couldn't sustain that kind of schedule for ourselves. But we had a lot of fun when we were making it. And I remembered, some of the skills that I took with me from having done it and decided, you know what, man? I'm just going to start another fucking podcast. I love talking. I love having conversations with people. I love diving deep. And this time it's just me, This time it's all my own interests in conversating with people. And I have been so blown away by the guests that I have already spoke to. Friends, peers, people that I admire. It's just, the list goes on, and I just have found myself being just really grateful to have this platform and to be able to do this. I'm super aware that the podcast space is just ridiculously oversaturated, and there's a bajillion of them. So, why are you going to listen to this one? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But you don't have to either. That's the beauty of a podcast. You can just not listen. You can hit stop whenever you want. But I am really excited about this because it's a really kind of like close thing to my heart that I feel really connected to, which is the Precipice of Delusion, right? A lot of people are like, well, what is that? That sounds interesting. And essentially for me, what it is and what it is meant is, I, as an actor, as an artist, as a creator, I spend a lot of time in the unknown. I am uncertain of where the next gig is going to come from, how I'm going to get paid, what's going to happen next, what's the next best thing. I'm always kind of like waiting around for something to come. And in that downtime, there's a lot of just uncertainty and feelings of inadequacy, of like, am I right for this? Should I continue doing this? You go for stretches of time where you're just like, this is crazy. Like, I should just go get, a degree in fucking social economics or whatever the fuck might be, like, get out of art because it is so unsafe and it is so demoralizing at times. And eventually something comes, something happens. I book a job on TV or I make a movie, whatever, something comes to me and it makes me realize that I am validated in my pursuit. Oh, you booked it. Great. Now you get all this reassurance that yes, you are on the right path. Yes, you're doing it right. Okay, great. All right, Julian, hooray. You feel all good for yourself. People are reaching out, congratulating you. Your ego is boosted. Your self esteem is through the roof. You're just feeling like a champion. And then eventually, the job is over again, and you're back to square one, thinking that, like, that thing's going to get me to the next thing. And the truth is that it never really does. And if we wrap up all of our self-worth inside of our accomplishments, then we are creating a recipe for disaster. And in full transparency, I have done that for the better part of a decade and am tired of operating that way now with myself. I'm riding on the precipice of delusion all the time because I wonder, am I delusional to think that this is what I should be doing? I mean, yeah, to a certain degree it is, right? Like you have to be delusional enough to believe that you can do this to begin with. I'm trying to be an actor. I'm an actor. I moved to New York 12 years ago and I decided that this was what I was going to do with my life. And somehow I have managed to make that happen for myself. Somehow I have managed to stay out here for 12 years and keep going and keep trying. And sometimes when I take 10 steps back, I ask myself, like, how in the fuck have you done this? This is insane. And it's mostly reflected to me through my friendships. When I talk to friends and they're like, man, I haven't talked to you for a while. I'm like, I know, man. They're like, how long have you been in New York? 12 years now. It's like, whoa, man, that is crazy. It's a long time. I moved here when I was 24 years old, and I've really become like who I am through this city and through this approach to finding my lane in this artistic medium. And I am so grateful for where I'm at in my life. But I'm also so challenged by where I'm at in my life. So it's this total catch 22. I get that I am living a charmed life. Like I have this studio space. I have this amazing apartment in Brooklyn where I get to create and do these things. And, thinking like, woe is me is by no means what I'm trying to lean into with this podcast or in my life at all. I'm just mostly fascinated by how we stay in it. How do we continue to maintain a level of self-worth when the universe typically is telling us to like just turn back around and go the other way? And even when we are seeing success, when we are seeing our our uh, our action put into place and we're receiving the rewards and it's reciprocal, even then there's still so many downfalls to all of this stuff, and it feels like the farther you get, the harder it gets. It doesn't feel the opposite way around. And a lot of people will say, like, the answer is not in getting to where you want to be in your life, getting the success, getting the things, the material possessions, the professional career that you've always hoped and dreamed you would have aren't where you're going to find yourself and your self-worth. And I think I made the mistake of assuming that was going to be the case for a long time. And lately I have been trying to change my thought process with a lot of that. And one approach in doing that has been starting this podcast to ask people about how they do it, how they navigate their way through this treacherous shit, how they, find ways to keep themselves going when it feels like a complete like disaster to keep moving forward. Like it can be sad, it can be depressing, you can get down on yourself. I know for a fact that I am extremely hard on myself, and I'm tired of being that way. It just doesn't serve me anymore. I I'm on a new sobriety kick right now, and it's not even a kick. Like, I really hope it sticks. I took 3 years off drinking back in 2017. And then I kind of fell back into the patterns and I got back into all that stuff. And now I'm like back in this new year and I'm doing it again. And I just really feel connected to it this time in a different way. That's not like doing it for my ego, you know? At the end of the 3 years last time, I was feeling like, oh, people respect me for not drinking anymore. And I like this impression that I'm making on other people. I like that other people are seeing me as a role model now in this regard. And that felt good and that compelled me to keep doing it. And that wasn't for me. It was for everybody else. And that's what I've been doing my entire life. I've been just doing things for other people. I've been doing things to make these impressions. I've been essentially wearing this mask to try and like be this fun-loving, charismatic, crazy guy. And deep down, I have struggled really hard, you know? And I know that, you know, people see me, and it's not to say that I'm not those things either, that I don't possess charisma and fun and silliness and joy and all of those things. But I also carry a lot of baggage with me. And I get really hard on myself at times because I just don't feel like I am where I'm supposed to be. And I know that I'm not unique in feeling that way. I know a lot of us feel that way all the time. And that's okay, right? Because like we're not alone in that feeling. It's like we're people, we're humans. We're like living through this human experience that is tough. And although some of us are more privileged than others, some of us have different you know, luxuries in life and than others. It's all relative because we're all living our own unique experience. And I'm just fascinated by people. I'm fascinated by growth. I'm on this, you know, new kind of sober journey with myself where I'm really trying to ask questions of myself and really take time in processing the answers. And if I don't have them, not just assuming that like, you know, I know. And it's challenging. And I have been challenged. I have been peeling a lot of layers back from myself and exposing myself and getting really vulnerable in a new kind of way that feels raw and scary, but honest. And so I'm I'm just excited to bring this podcast to you. I've been having some conversations with people that I've just been in awe by. I have been really blown away by learning that if I try to place my value in my craft and I don't place my value in my life outside of that, I'm going to destroy myself because it's not sustainable. I'm never going to be happy if all of my value is placed inside of this creative pursuit that I am chasing. I just can't keep doing it. And so learning through these people that have been on this podcast that we can place value elsewhere. We can place value in our efforts to build relationships with people, with our parents, with you know, the physical activities that we do that have nothing to do with your profession or your business, with cooking in the kitchen, like these things that we can do. Like I need to learn how to have more hobbies. I need to learn how to do more things that actually bring me joy and that have no association to my career whatsoever. And in actually taking steps towards that, I am calming down a lot. And it's ironic because it's like, you know, stop doing what you think you need to do in order to be successful. And then maybe you will start to be successful. And so it's, you know, it's this really interesting thing that I'm starting to put into practice. And I'm feeling really good. This podcast is honestly making me feel really full right now. And I couldn't be more thankful for that I have something, this creative outlet to to put myself into and to, move through like this. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know who's going to listen. I don't know if it's going to be successful, but that doesn't ultimately matter because I'm just feeling good about doing it. It feels right. And when something feels right, I should continue to move in that direction. And so I'm really excited to bring this to you. We have a lot of really wonderful guests. I think what I'm going to do is start putting out 2 a week. I think I'm going to do Monday and Thursday for like maybe 3 to 4 weeks just to like fully throw podcasts at you right away, that you have a bunch of stuff to kind of consume and just take in and see if you like, which I hope you do. And then from there, I'll probably start doing like 1 a week on Mondays, I think. I don't really know how the format's going to go yet. I think that's kind of the idea. I just have like 14 or 15 episodes batch that I just did like this week. I just boom, 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 boom. I was talking to people and it felt really good. And I was just like cruising and I was in the zone. And so rather than waiting like, 3 months to put up one that just happened this week, I'm just going to start putting a bunch out this week and next, and 2 at a time, Monday and Thursday. And I hope you listen to all of them. I hope, because they're all, even if you don't know the guest, they all have really amazing gems in each one of them. They're just fun. I'm just fucking having fun, and I'm pumped that you guys are on this journey with me. I will try my best to like keep you guys posted on where I'm at in my life and what's going on, and just kind of keep you up to speed. And if you want to stay connected with me, I will be available to you. I'm gonna make a Instagram page and a TikTok page, which might be hard, but it's okay. It'll be at the Precipice of Delusion. You can follow me at Julian Gavilanis on social media, on Instagram. I'll post a lot of this stuff there. We'll have a YouTube page for this as well, on my YouTube channel, which essentially is just a bunch of like old audition tapes from shows that I went out for. But I'll start putting up the episodes there as well, the whole full episode, so you can see it as well as listen to it. And yeah, I think I might start like a Patreon page too. I don't really know if I want to do that, just because I hate asking for money from people. But if it can help me continue to put this thing out there and do it in a better way, where I can hopefully eventually like build out this studio and make it cooler and, have guests actually into the space, then why not? You're never going to get what you want unless you ask for it. And so I might take that route. We'll see. Stay posted. But I am going to release this episode following this one with my best friend, Alan Stone. And I'm really excited for you guys to listen to it, because it is different than our typical conversations that you'd heard previously on our old podcast. We dive deep. We have we shed some tears. So get your tissues ready, because it is a little emotional. But we also just laugh and act silly and talk about a lot of the things that we've had difficult times with as we've navigated through these journeys. And then follow along, because I have many episodes coming hereafter. And I just want to stay consistent with this. I want to keep doing it. I want to, be honest in my approach to where I'm at and how I'm going. And I hope this is of service to people, because ultimately I want people to take away that, they're not alone in this either, through listening to people that are at every level, of this professional pursuit. People that are, farther back in their journey than I am, and people that are way beyond in their journey. But we're all going through it. We, Jesus, excuse me. We all feel inadequate. We all feel the pressure of being in this world. And I think it's relative to anything. You don't have to be an artist to listen to this. You can be anybody. hopefully it just brings you a little bit of joy. And if it does, I hope you like this and subscribe to this and, follow along. Hit follow on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you listen to this or follow. I don't know. I don't know how it all works, but just figure it out and follow along on the journey. Shoot me a message and tell me you like it, because that goes a long way and makes me feel really seen and validated. And for a guy who has spent the better part of his life feeling insecure because he wants people to like him, that stuff's going to go a long way. So just hit me up and stay tuned, because this podcast is going to be a really fun thing for me to do, and I hope it's a really fun thing for you to participate in as well. So that's that, guys. That's the first episode, short intro episode of The Precipice of Delusion. I'm sure I left a lot out, but that's okay, because we're all human, and you're going to learn along the journey of me talking to friends and peers and artists alike that we're all just trying to figure out the messiness of this whole entire situation. So enjoy the episodes, my friends. Thank you for being here. I love you very much. If you have guests that you want to suggest to me or send over, let me know. I am open to everything. I'm not famous enough at this point to not be able to reach back out to you. Hit me up. I will hit you back and we can go from there. You guys are the best. I love you so much. And enjoy The Precipice of Delusion. Stick around for a second. I want to tell you about a couple things. If you haven't already subscribed to this YouTube channel, or if you haven't followed this podcast on the platform that you're listening to it on, please, for the love of God, do that for me. I don't even know what it does, but in a world of algorithms, apparently it helps. Write a review if you feel compelled. Honestly, not even if you feel compelled, just do it. Help me out here, guys. If you like this podcast and you want it to keep happening, do the things that will allow me to keep it going. Those little engagements with this podcast help it out a ton. I promise you, I will reciprocate on my end. I will pay it forward. I will keep bringing you episodes forever. I will keep this consistent. My goal is to keep doing this through and through. So if you could help me show some love, that would mean a lot to me. I have also started a Patreon page. It is patreon.com/The Precipice of Delusion. Precipice is a tricky word to spell now, all right? It is Precipice. I might have spelled that wrong. Precipice, but there's no it's the eyes. It's the eyes that got me tricked out. Patreon.com/The Precipice of Delusion. Go check it out. If you want to contribute, some small amount per month to help me continue to get this thing going. It's not just going to my pocket. It is genuinely going to help grow this podcast. And allow me to kind of just keep this space happening and not having to go get 19 jobs so that I can fucking run around like a maniac. All of your support is hugely helpful, guys. I appreciate you so much. Like, subscribe, share it, tell your friends, tell your family. If you have artists that you think would get something out of this, let them know. And if you have people that you want to suggest, you want them to talk to me, you want them to come on the podcast, holler at me. The best way to get a hold of me is probably at this point through Instagram. Maybe just shoot me a DM or shoot me an email at julian.gavilanes@gmail.com. That is julian.gavilanes@gmail.com. Shoot me a line. Let me know what you're thinking. If you have people that you want me to sponsor on this podcast, I can do that too. I am happy to do free sponsored ads for the time being until I can start moving people towards you, and then we can negotiate something. I'm trying to figure out ways to monetize this, obviously, so that I can keep it going. And if you have any ideas or suggestions, holler at me. I'm not the best businessman in the world. I'm a one-man army here, and I'm trying my best. So go to patreon.com/the Precipice of Delusion. I will start doing exclusive content there so that you feel like you're getting something out of this. And yeah, stay tuned. I'm going to have another episode out this week on Thursday. And then for the next few weeks, probably Monday and Thursday, every episode. And then I will probably take it down to just every Monday thereafter. But yeah, stay tuned. Keep coming and keep tuning in. I love you so much. This is so fun. We are really doing things. Sweet. Talk to you guys soon.